The official story is, of course, that the Serbs ethnically cleansed the poor Muslim Albanians in Kosovo, and that the heroic NATO intervened and saved them, because NATO is so worried about human rights and want to protect everybody. That's the official story. But what really happened? Let's find out. One of the good things about multiculturalism is that you get to meet a lot of people from different cultures. Especially if you're in prison, because the multicultural society is completely dysfunctional and a lot of these guests end up in prison, where I was. So I talked to both Serbs and Albanians. Yugoslavia, after the fall of the Soviet Union, Yugoslavia was still a little bit too unwilling to bend over to the USA. Just like she was unwilling to bend over to the Soviet Union. And the USA didn't appreciate it, so they sent in their agents. I know from Albanians that I met in prison that the USHK, they sent out hordes of refugees into different parts of Europe, and in reality they sent out drug dealers. In Norway, the Pakistanis used to dominate the drug market, heavy drugs. And then these ruthless savages from Kosovo came and completely threw out the Pakistanis and took over the market. Even today, Kosovo Albanians control 90% of the heroin market in Norway, in Scandinavia, not just Norway. The Albanians I talked to in prison were drug dealers. They had sold drugs for like 4 or 5 million euros. And they told me the money didn't go to them. They sent it to the USHK so that they could buy weapons legally in the USA. Of course, they also purchased weapons illegally from other places. But we know they purchased them perfectly legally from the USA. And I guess they were allowed to bring them to Albania over the border into Kosovo, where they were used against Serbian civilians and policemen. The Albanians also kidnapped Serbs, teenagers, and executed them in the forest, just dumped their bodies. And of course, all in all, this provoked a reaction from the Serbs, who had to send in their police forces. The Serbian police force entered the area, and I guess they behaved in a slightly ruthless manner as well to defend their people. And this, voila, was the excuse needed for NATO to intervene and bomb the shit out of Serbia, which probably was their plan from the beginning. Unless, of course, Serbia bent over before. They didn't. I was in prison in 1990, and I tried to run away. I made plans to run away so that I could go join my Serb brothers in the just war against the NATO criminals. I regret that I couldn't. I was transferred to another prison a few days before the plan was to be executed. And yeah, that was that. But at least Serbia had my sympathy, has my sympathy. What I suggest here is that we take all the criminal NATO scum participating in this coward attack on Serbia, and we send them to a tribunal in Serbia, and then let them stand trial there for their crimes. Thanks for watching.